I played Captain Morstan in the first episode. They're the captain of a party boat, or a party yacht, that when introduced is sailing through the night trying to capture the time zone. So they're having to manage this very hedonistic environment, but in a very professional way, and just keep things running, keep things going. And when they finally get lines towards the end of the episode, they're interacting with Truesdale. He doesn't seem to respect them, and Truesdale, in his arrogance, assumes that someone like Morstan just has everything handed to them. But it turns out that Morstan has a difficult life, a difficult job. They've worked to be where they are, and get quite irritated by assumptions that they haven't done that work.
I will be in charge of all of the social media and marketing and public relations, and I'm also going to be there on set just to help everyone with the timings and help everything go smoothly, and I can't wait. What I've been telling people is that it is Sherlock Holmes swapped over and in the middle of the sea. But I don't think that description shows how charming the whole thing is, and the emotional range of the characters and their development.
Need something.
I like the layers you've got going on. What sort of soldier was he? What sort
he was
of
a bomb disposal.
Bomb
actually.
disposal.
Yeah.
Right. Is that an actual part of the, or is that going to be, or is that?
It's going to be. It's never actually going to be explicit. There are several things in the series that I never want to actually state in words or have characters talk about. But I want it to be there for you as a character.
Yeah, no, I want it to be, so I can get into the role better. I feel like. Yeah.
But can we actually, being serious about Jerome, there are some details that we haven't got to yet, because we've just done the first episode, so we're just doing surface level. But Jerome does actually have some of Watson in him.
Oh yeah.
Kind of thing. I'm not sure if I mentioned this to you.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
So in the books, obviously, in Sterling Scarlet, Watson has a leg injury, but then for the rest of it, it's actually a shoulder one. And what we've done is that Truesdale actually has the shoulder injury, but Jerome has the leg one. And Truesdale does have a sort of past which he considers a war, but it's not an actual literal war or anything like that.
It's just arguing with a difficult client.
No. This is Truesdale, what I'm talking about.
I play Jerome, who is Truesdale's lit agent, and he's a very frustrated man because he feels obligated for various reasons that I'm not going to describe because it's part of the plot, but he feels obligated to get Truesdale to actually give him the manuscript for the book that Truesdale, unbeknownst to him but strongly suspected, he has not written.
Yeah.
And I love playing frustrated characters. I describe it as a radio play which I have never seen the full script for, but which, hearsay says that it is very good. I looked at my part, at least, I was given a glimpse of it, and I thought, this is something that I wouldn't actually mind being part of. Well, it's true. It is true. What are you laughing at?
I'm sorry.
No, I did look at it, and I thought, that's the kind of thing I want to do. It seems like a huge amount of fun.
As a project, Truesdale is something that we're learning as we go, definitely, but I feel like we are learning fast, and that's really exciting to be part of. Just something where things work out, and I get to work with a lot of talented people who kind of know what they're doing, even though they haven't done it much before. I'm the director for the series, so I'm mainly working with actors, just kind of doing a bit of a check with them before recording, going through how they approach the character, how they react to other characters in the series, and being able to talk them through what their motivations are and how they should be saying things. Just kind of get that, hopefully, perfection on the dialogue side of things.
Truesdale is... It's a weird mixture of niche and mainstream. It's taking these characters of Sherlock Holmes and Watson and taking these archetypes and understandable characters and putting them in this weird environment of a profession that doesn't really respect them and people don't actually care for them. It's taking the mystery genre and making it mundane and sort of trying to deconstruct it and show it for what it is, and the comedy comes from that. It's a marine biology comedy based on the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, and I'd say at its core it's an LGBT series. That's what it's really about. It's about people and mental health and identity. Truesdale is the titular character. He is at first glance the main character, but it's really not all about him, or it's not as about him as he thinks it is. That's one of the key things. It's very much a deutagonist situation if you've got Scott and you've got Truesdale. And he thinks he's Sherlock Holmes, which he has the arrogance, he has the ego, and he has some of the intelligence, but in reality, Truesdale is more the Watson figure. He's got Mary, the ex-wife, he's got the doctorate, and he has the shoulder injury, but he has that marine knowledge, which is similar to how Watson sort of offers the medicine to help Sherlock Holmes, that Truesdale has that marine knowledge and sort of just general life experience, which he can give to Scott to help solve things. And Scott is the intern, and at first glance, and certainly in the pilot, he very much seems like this sort of sidekick character. But we try to do it in such a way that there are these clues, there are sort of subtle hints that he's not quite as, dumb as he first seems, or at least as sort of, it becomes more obvious that it's more of his humour style, and that he's playing to how Truesdale sees him, and that he is actually the driving force if you look for it there in the investigations. The sort of the mysteries wouldn't be solved because Truesdale wouldn't have any motivation to solve them. He wouldn't care enough, whereas Scott really does. And he sort of uses humour, and he uses this obfuscating stupidity, a bit like sort of Columbo, but not Columbo, but yeah, there's more to him than at first glance. That's why I'm most excited to see across the series, is the growth and change of Truesdale and Scott, because it's sort of designed in this sort of hourglass pattern where they swap places and they really do change. That's one of the main things with the series, is that we want characters who wouldn't be static and would change and grow. We don't want that sort of sitcom formula of starting off and ending in the exact same place. We want people who change, grow, and maybe become better, possibly. I don't want to spoil things, they might just be equally shit, but they'll change.